Welcome to the channel, and I want to thank you guys for tuning in on today. A special thanks to those of you who are tuned in to these shares that I'm uploading. I appreciate your participation on the channel. I appreciate you viewing whenever you get a chance. I just appreciate you. Alright, so today I want to cover the topic of what about the visa on arrival? Is that really a visa on arrival that Togo offers, or is it something else, or how is that process, so on and so forth. So I do want to tell you that it is indeed a visa on arrival. You can get that. The particular concerns that I think some people have who ask that question is that they are unvaccinated, so they wanted to make sure that there were no surprises at the airport. Well, I can tell you that as far as vaccinations, there are absolutely no surprises when you get to the airport. You go through the process of getting your visa as you would any other visa on arrival if you've had that before. And afterwards you go and take your COVID test if you are unvaccinated. Now, here's something that you need to know about the visas on arrival is that they are only for 7 days. Yeah, only for 7 days, and your date of arrival actually counts as your first day in the country. So you want to make sure that whatever you have planned, if you're going to be in the country longer than 7 days, including the day that you arrive, that you have that taken care of before your visa on arrival expires, because this is where it gets sticky. If you go to right now I am on the embassy's website for Washington. They actually have two in the United States. They have one in Washington, one in New York that you can go to. This is the one in New York, all right, where you can get your visa before you arrive in the country. But when you get into the country, you would have to get it extended if you're going to stay longer, and that's where the problem is going to arise, because in order to go into those buildings, you would need to be vaccinated. Yeah. Now, and it doesn't tell you that, and it's really not a requirement, but when you arrive there, you're going to run into a different law. They're going to just be quoting stuff that's not according to the regulations. And really, it's according to their building regulation. Let me just clarify that. But it's not a requirement for those of you who are coming to the country. It's not a requirement. And so you enter the country without that requirement. But to get the extension, it says nothing about you having to have that vaccination in order to get the extension. So you don't want to get here and get into a situation where you need to get your visa extended, but you cannot because you can't access the building because you're not vaccinated. All right. So, and that's a real issue that people can run into. All right, so to avoid that, I would suggest that you guys go to their website in the US, and if you pull it up and it comes up in French, you can right click it and it will translate to English, okay, so that you can get an understanding of exactly what it is that you need to submit to them. It takes about 10 days for the standard processing. They do have an express processing that you can use, but for standard processing, you can get that. And these are the fees, which are subject to change, so please make sure that you're checking on this if you're in another country. There are also procedures that you would take based on your country as far as where you would go and how you would get that visa, apply for the visa and have it extended if you need to at a later time. If you apply in your home country, it's typically 90 days. That's how long it is. That's the best thing to do. So guys, if you are planning on coming to Togo, just avoid the whole visa on arrival thing. Although it is a smooth process, it's only 15,000 SEPA when you get to the airport. But if you're going to be in the country longer than 7 days, and that includes if you're going over, say, to Ghana or Benin and coming back in, that's going to be another issue. All right, and it's a lot to go into. If someone wants to consult with me on that, that's fine. It's not a requirement, but it just requires a lot more details. Okay, so the best thing I would advise you all, if you are coming to the country and you're going to stay longer than the 7 days, although the visa on arrival is an option, if you are unvaccinated, even though you can get into the country without being vaccinated, to avoid any problems with getting your visa extended, I would recommend that you go ahead and apply before coming to the country. All right, and so just look up the 2 locations, one in New York and the other one in Washington, or you can always go to the travel state.gov website, and they will direct you to the appropriate sites to get your visas and to find out the most updated information on the country. All right, so thank you guys for tuning in. I appreciate you all, and have a wonderful day.